Danish wind turbine which took place in February of 2008. Interestingly, it was one of the few wind turbine collapses that was actually caught on camera. A large crashing sound occurred, which was the result of the gear failing. The turbine then began to rotate very quickly. At first, the rotor did not turn very fast, but it was now impossible. The turbine continued to turn at immense speeds and the tower was evacuated immediately. Police set up a perimeter of 400 meters around the turbine to keep cars and people out of the way. Luckily, they were able to do so and nobody was injured. About 2.5 hours later, the wind turbine lost control and pieces went flying everywhere. It's crazy to see something like this actually being caught on camera. In February of 2008, a wind turbine in Aquileona, a town in the province of Avellino in the Campania region of southern Italy, had a very scary failure that almost injured many drivers. Before we get into this one, is it just a coincidence, or do all wind turbine failures take place during February? The first two so far have, but we'll have to see, so don't stop watching yet. In this clip, the wind turbine began to turn very fast, then disintegrated, throwing debris everywhere. What's really scary is that there were several drivers on the road at the time of the incident, which could have been very dangerous for them. Luckily, the cars under the turbine were able to swerve out of the way. One even made a sharp U-turn just in the nick of time to avoid being bombarded by debris. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but it's definitely a crazy thing to experience. When it comes to the failure of wind turbines, there are a million factors at play. From failures of the gearbox to disasters such as lightning strikes, there's a lot that can go wrong. The next clip is a bit more concerning, as not only did the turbine dismantle itself, but it actually blew up, causing flames and smoke to form all around the area. We don't actually have too much information on what caused this failure, as the source of the clip didn't specify where this took place, but what we can say is that it definitely was not a safe place to be. For our next clip, we have a wind turbine that ultimately failed due to over-rotation of its propellers. Whether it be from natural causes, the old design, or some sort of engineering fail, this turbine simply was not able to handle the speed. We see it continue to spin as it is almost on its last leg. Eventually, we hear a pop and the fan of the turbine completely breaks and flops around. Interestingly, unlike others on this list, this turbine's propellers appeared to turn into jelly as they flopped around after failing. Luckily, the turbine was located in a more secluded area, so nobody was injured. Not to mention, no sizable debris went flying. Surely this must have cost a sizable chunk of change, but at least nobody got hurt. This last clip is a bit more mysterious, as we actually don't get to see the precursor as to how the turbine essentially failed. In the video, we get a close-up of the top of a turbine as it is engulfed in flame. Smoke is billowing out the back as the rest of the structure slowly burns. As the clip progresses, the wind starts to pick up, which causes the fire to grow even stronger. Eventually, the entire operating box atop the turbine is mostly gone, but it doesn't stop here. As the flame gets bigger, the turbine's propellers start to catch fire and leave us with a completely burnt and broken down turbine. You can't help but wonder what options they really had. How would they even go about putting out a fire like that? Wind turbine failures are only one of the many engineering failures out there. Let us know in the comments what topic you want to see us cover next. For now, be sure to check